Good evening from San Ignacio Town. With the 9 o'clock news, I am Patrick Jones. In the headlines, Dangriga elects Frank Mena as their new area representative. Belizean diplomat presents credentials in San Jose, Costa Rica. And an armed robbery reported in Belize City. We will have details of these and other stories coming up after these messages.
Take a moment, feel the rhythm of life. It keeps beating.
What if you took just a few seconds of every day to help someone else?
Every minute, it's yours and mine.
It's amazing how the smallest things can have the greatest impact.
Make a difference. Pay it forward. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Are you always on the go? Tired of missing your favorite games while they're actually being played? Watch your games and sporting events live with Central TV and Internet's incredible MyTV. Simply log on to www.mitv.bz to get easy access to 25 channels, no matter where you are. With Central TV and Internet's MyTV, you're always in the game.
More vehicle owners are switching to the PureGuard line of motor oils, and with good reason. PureGuard comes in different grades and specifications. It carries the API certification and comes with the Westrac stamp of approval, guaranteed to make your engine run cleaner and longer, up to 10,000 miles. With PureGuard motor oil, your engine will have less wear and tear, give you maximum performance on the road, and give your vehicle better fuel mileage.
PureGuard, good quality, affordable oil.
Distributed exclusively by Westrac Limited, with branches in Spanish Lookout, Belmopan, Belize City, and Orange Walk Town. Here now is the news in details. Residents of the Dangriga constituency, which includes Hope Creek and Sarawee villages, have chosen Frank Mena as their new area representative. Mena, running under the banner of the United Democratic Party, defeated Anthony Sabal of the People's United Party and independent candidate Llewellyn Lucas in a by-election that was held yesterday. According to the official figures published by the Election and Boundaries Department, Mena received a total of 2,164 votes. Sabal got 1,526 votes. The independent candidate received 14 votes. There were 31 rejected ballots. In one of the first interviews following his victory at the polls, the now elected Frank Mena spoke with TNC correspondent Gwen Nunes Gonzalez about his plans for the way forward.
It's a victory that I think it's not for me, but it's for the people of Dangriga. It is for all of those people who believe. It is for the town council. It is for the mayor. It is for the councillors. It is for my family. It is for my friends. It is for the entire community, and they have worked hard to ensure that this is delivered. And I say this victory is not for me, but it's for us.
So what are your plans now for your constituency?
When it remains the same, we got to address some of the issues that we've been having, some of the problems, to ensure that our people step forward. I know it will be a challenge, but we will have to have the conversation, and I'm ready for the conversation, man. It has to work. It is past time now that in Dangriga we make something happen, and I will die ensuring that it happens.
What are your plans at this time to ensure that Dangriga comes back unified? Because after the whole political thing, then it's up to us to see how we move forward. You have a plan at this time?
Unification then is not a one-sided issue. It has to be it has to spread like a net. And so many people need to be encompassing the whole concept of getting things together. And so I am open, I want it to happen. I dream of it happening. The Garinago and the people of the South and Sarawee and Hope Creek were one unified community once, and then suddenly we find everything that makes us so different. And I know all the attacks, all the negativity, I have never thought of reciprocating that kind of vibes. And so I will make an earnest effort to ensure that we could have the conversation and see where we go from there. But if that same effort is not reciprocated, we will have problems, and we'll have to find innovative ways to ensure that it happens. I'm ready to do it.
And what's your plan moving into the general?
Well, delivering on the remaining time that the government has, and to ensure that my people understand that Papa Mena is able, Papa Mena is willing, and Papa Mena will deliver. And that I will do, because I've been mandated to do so. That's all I wanted. That's all I was asking for, and now make a deal with it.
In all, some 3,738 voters cast their ballots in yesterday's by-election. That represents 59.57% of the total registered voters in the division. It may not have been the crushing victory the UDP was expected, but a win is a win, and for Mena, the victory is just as sweet. And completing his triumph, the new member of the House of Representatives is expected to be even further elevated to the exclusive club that is Cabinet as a Minister of Government. Prime Minister and UDP leader Dean Barrow explained why he feels Mena and Dangrigans deserve it.
In terms of Frank's determination and drive, I don't think there is any chance of his not delivering, and of course government is there to support him. So no, this is a momentum builder. This, I think, puts him in a near unassailable position for the general election. So all told, a good day's work. I am happy, I am certain he is, and we feel that both with respect to this constituency and generally across the board, the UDP is in an excellent position. We're extremely grateful to people. I've said earlier today, I believe in talking to you, nobody can miss the fact that there has been a sustained campaign against the government from the opposition and from those in league with the opposition, from social activists, and I'm not going to quarrel with anyone, but naturally when the people of this country continue to show that no traction can be gained by the anti-government set, that pleases us, and it makes us believe that it is because we are doing a good job. It also encourages us to do an even better job.
Mena takes his seat at the next sitting of the House of Representatives, giving the UDP 19 seats to the PUP's 12. On the other side of yesterday's by-election victory for the UDP is Anthony Sabal of the People's United Party. In his concession speech after the results were official, Sabal told reporters that given the short space of time he was on the ground working, the PUP has come a long way.
Well, we must concede that Papa Mena is a new era representative for Dangriga, Hope Creek and Sarawee.
All right, sir, could you give us an idea of what you feel might have fallen down with your machinery today, or what helped to make this victory for Papa Mena?
It's not a matter of falling down. I'm very proud of the machinery, very proud of the campaigners, the support we got from north, south, east and west. The people, the People's United Party came together. We were unified. Yes, we know the factors. 3 weeks was a short time. As I said, we hit the ground running and sprinted. And there are always those factors that we have to consider. No matter how confident we are about it, the factors are there. If you look closely, we have narrowed the margin. If you look closely, what we achieve in 3 weeks, imagine if we have a little longer time. And as usual, it's the people that decide, and the power belongs to the people.
Sabal says he will not give up the fight and that he has no regrets and no excuses.
Well, I've been giving the same answers every time. When I say yes, it's yes for the long haul.
Sir Sabal,
do you feel that you were perhaps unfairly in an unfair race in terms of going up against a government with the full muscularity of all its resources at hand?
Well, when you look at politics, that's a part of the game. You can't cry about what is fair or unfair. It is what was legal. It was legal to call the by-election. It was legal to have the candidates, and it's legal to have the election.
Sir, if Mr. Ramos, how consequential was it that Mr. Ramos made no showing, your predecessor made no showing on your behalf today? And as far as we can tell, the Ramos family, which is a large PUP family in Dangriga, was not a prominent part of the PUP esprit de corps today.
We are not sure of that. I don't think anybody is sure if the Ramoses voted or did not vote for me. At the end of the day, the power belongs to the people. And the majority of the people decided that they would like to go with Papa Mena. And we have to accept that. That has nothing to do with what went on in the past. We could summarize, we could guess, but the truth is, at the end of the day, it's the people who decided.
Sir, is this a learning?
Sabal expects that in a one-on-one fight with the new area representative in a general election, the outcome will be a completely different story.
A tight time frame right now to prove himself.
General elections are usually a whole different affair. As I said earlier, in different interviews, I was told I will feel the might of the United Democratic Party because it's a by-election. And so I got help from the People's United Party from the national level. When it's a general election, we all know it's every man, every woman for himself, taking care of their constituency. And then we will play another kind of game.
You think that will be a fairer matchup?
Of course, everybody will be busy. And so the new industry that you see outside, in terms of the hotels being packed, food being sold, the restaurants, I mean, that was a new industry for the by-election. I don't think you will see that for the general. Everybody will be at home in their constituency, taking care of their own business.
Sabal and Mena are distant relatives and says he harbors no ill will towards his younger rival. Meanwhile, the newest member of the House of Representatives has not yet even taken his seat in the lower house of Parliament, but the office of the Prime Minister has announced his appointment as a junior minister. A government press release today announced that Frank Mena will be the Minister of State in the Ministry of National Security. His swearing-in is scheduled for Friday morning at Belize House in Belmopan by the Governor-General. Mena will take his oath of office as a parliamentarian at the next sitting of the House of Representatives. Belize's ambassador to Costa Rica, Alexis Rosado, has presented his credentials to President Luis Guillermo Solis Rivera. According to an official release, Ambassador Rosado presented his credentials during a ceremony on Wednesday in San Jose, the Costa Rican capital. During his visit to Costa Rica, Ambassador Rosado also visited with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Manuel Gonzalez Sanz, and made arrangements for the opening of a new Belize consulate in Costa Rica. The official government release says that Rosado will serve as non-resident ambassador to Costa Rica. Belize and Costa Rica have enjoyed cordial relations over the years and are part of various trade and cooperation agreements. Belize City Police are investigating a Wednesday evening robbery. Businessman Fokrul Alam reported to police that two masked men entered his establishment on Euphrates Avenue around 5:40 on Wednesday evening and robbed the Take and Pay grocery store. Alam told authorities that one of the masked men went behind the counter and ordered him to open the cash register. Despite complying with the demand, Alam says one of the robbers hit him on the head with an object resembling a firearm. He estimates that the assailants took the cash register containing $400. Police investigations continue. You are watching the 9 o'clock news. Stay tuned for more of the day's stories right after these messages.
Belize Camping Experience would like to thank everyone who makes BCE successful and meaningful.
To our summer camp supporters and volunteers who came from communities across Belize.
To all who supported, contributed,
and volunteered with our Harvest for Kids project.
Funds raised through last year's rice and corn crop will help maintain BCE's children's programs through 2015.
You can also support BCE by buying your bag of Circle R Premium Rice with the Harvest for Kids logo, now in a new package.
Together we can and will make a positive difference in this beautiful country of Belize.
You too can ride off into the sunset. Milon motorbikes are very affordable. There's a high availability for parts and a wide selection of models to choose from. My Milon, my bike. Available countrywide.
Hi.
Hi. Patience. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Welcome back to the 9 o'clock news. For the third time in 6 months, the People's United Party has lost an election. And while the result is closer than the others were, yesterday's defeat in Dangriga is no less crushing. But at a press conference this afternoon, the leader of the PUP, Francis Fonseca, was positively upbeat about the party's performance in yesterday's by-election.
Of course, we'll do a full and proper assessment of the results. Without a doubt, what we have been saying, nobody has been saying we're encouraged by the results in terms of the numbers. What we're saying is we are encouraged by the show of unity in our party, the fighting spirit. That is where it begins. That is where you begin to turn around the numbers. It has to begin with that. It has to begin with us understanding and appreciating that if we fight together, if we stand together, that is how we turn these elections around. So that is what is encouraging to us.
But it's not mixing up the... As the party reviews its performance, Fonseca says support continues for Anthony Sabal. Fonseca praised his determination and hard work and says the party needs more of the same despite its many obstacles.
So if you're going to assess it as we intend to, you have to assess it fully and properly, not selectively saying, okay, these are figures that Papa may have got this and that, but not assessing the context in which it occurred. And that's all we're saying. We are certainly proud of our candidate. We are proud of the effort he put forward. We believe if he had more time that he would have been able to win those elections. And we believe that now, we don't know how much time he will have before general elections, but he will hit the ground. And I know Mr. Sabal, he will be on the ground. If not already, he will be on the ground by weekend. Again, reaching out to the people. And that is what is encouraging to us. That fighting spirit, that willingness to take the fight to the United Democratic Party, which some have accused us of, and rightly so in some cases, that the fire wasn't in the belly and we weren't putting up that fight. We will do so. We will do so moving forward.
And Fonseca says that the loss must be put in its proper context, a lack of time to prepare and a rival machinery too strong to overcome.
The problem is that we had a very good candidate who did not have the proper time to mount a full campaign in Dangriga, and if he had that opportunity to campaign for months, he would have won those elections. I'm absolutely confident of that. So it was these are elections being orchestrated by Mr. Barrow and the UDP for the very purpose of trying to undermine the People's United Party, clearly, in our view. And so yes, both these elections were held over a period of a month or so. And we have confidence, we have every confidence that we have to work on all of those elements as I talked about. We have a good candidate, we have to be better organized, we need even more resources, so we need to fine-tune our message and make that effective and deliver it in a more effective way. But I don't think we should be overstating what took place there in Dangriga. It was an election called within a very short period of time for a man who had never run for electoral politics, and government came in with millions of dollars to spend on the ground in Dangriga, Sarawi, and Hope Creek. That is the reality of what happened. And in that context, we are encouraged by the way our party performed.
The party's internal review is expected to commence shortly. And staying on politics, almost as soon as the unofficial tallies started to come in and the size and scope of the UDP victory was clear, the question of how the UDP managed to take the Dangriga seat was up to be answered. Port Loyola Area Representative Anthony Boots Martinez said the UDP benefited from many PUP supporters saying outright that they would not vote for the Blue.
Democratic Party, especially in the Lakeland area, of which that are my PUP stronghold. But I tell you, you were out campaigning in Dangriga, and people that were PUP, they tell you, not this time now, not this time now.
You think the Ramoses, which is a very strong PUP family and also a family of great historic significance in this community, do you think they did not support? Mr. Sabal said it's not conclusive that they did or did not support him, but you're saying that they did not support?
Well, I don't know about the Ramos family. I know a whole heap of people that I ran into while campaigning that whether PUP say they are not PUP anymore. They are not PUP anymore because, you know, like when I do it in representative, and they think that the party is selfish, making all kind of moves and all kind of things and being disrespectful to their people.
Wednesday's victory was the third straight in by-elections for the United Democratic Party. Belize Rural North Area Representative Edmund Castro withdrew his lawsuit for defamation of character against Alvarine Burgess earlier this week, and now his opponents want him to either resign or be dismissed by the Prime Minister. The belief by his detractors is that Castro, according to the allegations against him, was paid to facilitate visas for Asian nationals and effectively admitted by Castro's actions. But it appears that calls for Castro's dismissal will go unanswered.
Well, that's a hell of a stretch. I mean, I don't accept that at all. He was the one who brought the suit for defamation. He obviously withdrew on the advice of his attorney, and you can make what you will of it. It was not exactly covered in glory in terms of the withdrawal, but I don't know how you could get to saying that is an effective admission of corruption. I reject that out of hand.
However, it's certainly an ignominious.
According to the Prime Minister, the ultimate deciders of Castro's fate are his constituents in Belize Rural North, and they have cast their vote.
Procurement of visas.
It is an allegation, an assertion that he rejects, and his counsel in fact attempted to put her through the mill and maintained the position that that is a gross untruth. Ms. Burgess certainly didn't prove, was unable to prove, perhaps did not need to.
She didn't have to prove.
But the fact is, there is no proof of that kind of allegation, so Castro the good Edmund will, of course, tell you that, look, he just went through a huge UDP convention and won handsomely, so that his people certainly don't accept the testimony of Alvarine Burgess.
The Recall of Elected Representatives Act may be invoked if 30% of verified signatures of residents of the division are collected. A group of Cuban men and a woman have been sent to prison for illegal entry into Belize. The group was charged for illegal entry and in the magistrate's court was fined $1,000 to be paid forthwith. When they were unable to pay the fine, the group was sent to the Belize Central Prison to serve a term of 6 months. At the end of their prison sentence, the group will be expelled from Belize. On Wednesday afternoon, Glendis Candero, Libon Rosales, Ruben Palma, and Pedro Martinez were intercepted on a passenger bus heading toward Belize City on the George Price Highway. The group told the Immigration Department that they came into Belize from Guatemala, crossing the banks of the Mopan River. 2 men were charged for ganging up on another man last month and leaving him with a broken nose. 28-year-old Darwin Howard and 19-year-old Selwyn McDonald are charged with grievous harm against Joan Polanco, who told police that the two attacked him on June 19th near the Queen's Square Anglican School, beat him up and gave him a broken nose. Howard and McDonald were set bail of $500 each by Chief Magistrate Anne-Marie Smith and ordered to return to court on October 5th. Executive Director of United Belize Advocacy Movement, Caleb Orozco, was in the magistrate's court today for the conclusion of a case against his neighbor. Orozco had accused Emerson Picard of insulting him and throwing a bottle at him near his residence on Zericote Street in October of 2014. Chief Magistrate Anne-Marie Smith today found Picard guilty of using indecent words and throwing missiles. According to Orozco, he was in his yard and headed to his mother's for dinner when Picard, using an unkind word, made reference to Orozco's sexual preference and then threw a bottle at him. Picard denied the acts in court, claiming that he had just left his house because he and his wife were having problems when Orozco allegedly made sexual advances on him. But the Chief Magistrate ruled that Orozco's account of the incident was straight and believable, apart from being unable to recall the exact date of the incident. She fined Picard $100 for each offense, in default 2 months in prison. The Chief Magistrate also scolded Police Constable Pott for, in her view, doing a shabby job of investigating the incident. Orozco was similarly attacked and injured in February of 2012, and no one was charged in that incident. He continues to await the decision of the Chief Justice Kenneth Benjamin on his claim against the Attorney General over Section 53 of the Criminal Code. That case was brought in 2011. The news on the National Channel. More vehicle owners are switching to the PureGuard line of motor oils, and with good reason. PureGuard comes in different grades and specifications. It carries the API certification and comes with the Westrac stamp of approval, guaranteed to make your engine run cleaner and longer, up to 10,000 miles. With PureGuard motor oil, your engine will have less wear and tear, give you maximum performance on the road, and give your vehicle better fuel mileage.
PureGuard, good quality, affordable oil.
Distributed exclusively by Westrac Limited, with branches in Spanish Lookout, Belmopan, Belize City, and Orange Walk Town.
Are you always on the go? Tired of missing your favorite games while they're actually being played? Watch your games and sporting events live with Central TV and Internet's incredible MyTV. Simply log on to www.mitv.bz to get easy access to 25 channels, no matter where you are. With Central TV and Internet's My TV, you're always in the game.
Relatively moist and unstable conditions continue to linger as a tropical wave exits our area and another approaches. The general forecast for Belize and her coastal waters is for cloudy skies with a few showers and thunderstorms mainly over southern and central areas of the country tonight and tomorrow morning. Winds over the open sea and along the coast will be easterly to northeasterly at 10 to 20 knots with occasional higher gusts. The sea state will be moderate to rough. Operators of small craft are advised to exercise caution in rough seas. Low temperatures tonight will be around 78 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 73 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and 68 degrees Fahrenheit up in the hills. High temperatures on Friday will be 86 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 90 degrees Fahrenheit inland, and a comfortable 77 degrees Fahrenheit up at the exposed areas of the mountain Pine Ridge and along the Maya Mountains in the south. The tides. There will be a low tide at 18 minutes past 10 o'clock tonight. A high tide follows at 18 minutes to 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun will rise at 25 minutes past 5 o'clock in the morning. It will set at 6:31 tomorrow evening. The extended forecast, valid through to Saturday afternoon, is for some cloudy spells with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly inland and in the south on Friday afternoon and the night, then becoming isolated on Saturday morning. And that is a look at the weather with information provided by forecaster Michael Gentle at the Belize Weather Bureau. The hurricane season continues to be active in the Pacific while the Atlantic remains quiet. Here is the tropical weather update.
Incredible high-resolution satellite imagery here of a monster storm that is hitting southern Japan as we speak. That's Typhoon Chanham, already cranking up humongous waves. Look at the size of those things. That's in Okinawa. And Okinawa is going to take a pretty bad hit from this storm. We've already had a couple wind gusts over 80 miles an hour there. Now, if you're not familiar, southern Japan, you look at those small islands down there. That's all part of Okinawa Prefecture. So that's a part of Japan. Of course, you've got the city of Okinawa as well, which is also going to take a pretty bad hit. Now, after it hits Japan, we've got to turn our attention to eastern China. Still going to be a very formidable storm. Big cities in play. Look at Shanghai. Okay, that's going to be a storm that will have some very bad impacts.
To summarize the news, here are the main points again. Dangriga elects Frank Mena as their new area representative. Belizean diplomat presents credentials in San Jose, Costa Rica. And armed robbery reported in Belize City. With the headlines, we end this edition of the 9 o'clock news. Thank you for joining us. I am Patrick Jones. Have a good evening and a good night.